What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel, much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Please don't adjust your settings. I am back using my Samsung S8 to film with. I was using a digital camera for the last month or so. That camera has gone on holiday for 2 weeks. So we are back with the tried and trusted Samsung S8, which has served me well for the last year and a bit. So we are back with that for the next couple of weeks. Some people told me they didn't even notice that I switched over to a digital camera. I don't believe them. I think it's obvious, but that's what they said. Just saying. All right, let's talk Tyson Fury, OTTO WALLIN for about a minute, 30 seconds. I don't think it requires anything longer than that. Obviously, a bit of tongue-in-cheek in the thumbnail. Who wins? I think we know who wins. I think 99.9% of people know who wins. I think even OTTO WALLIN knows who wins this one. But that hasn't stopped us from being excited about fights before. I was just thinking about some of the fights that we've seen this year where I think majority of people know who's going to win. We still are somewhat intrigued by the fight, right? I mean, a very good example of that is a fight that happened 2 weeks ago at the O2 Arena over there. 90% of us probably predicted that Lomachenko would beat Luke Campbell. That's a very high percentage. But we were still intrigued. We still wanted to see the fight. People were still going crazy over social media. Even a fight a week before that, Anthony Yarde versus Sergey Kovalev, the majority of people, not as high as 90%, but the majority of people predicted that Kovalev would beat Yarde. But you were still intrigued. There were still stories in the lead up to the fight. With Luke and Loma was this Olympic gold medalist. Luke's going to be this rangy fighter. How will Loma get underneath the jab, etc., etc. With Yarde versus Kovalev, it was a case of hungry lion versus old vet. There was that intrigue there. Tunde Ajayi was selling the fight to us. Anthony Yarde was selling the fight to us. So even in fights where there's been a big favourite, and those two are examples of a big favourite, there's been this level of intrigue which has got us interested in. So fights where we knew the outcome, there's still that level of intrigue, just because boxing is boxing and you never know. This fight, however, and I don't want to kick it too much because I think I've done that enough in videos, there is no intrigue whatsoever. There is no story being told about OTTO WALLIN. There's nothing, right? There were stories told about Luke Campbell and Anthony Yarde. There is no story whatsoever being told about OTTO WALLIN. There's nothing. There is not 1% of me that thinks he has a chance. Not 1%. And I can't think of a fight that I thought about that. Maybe Anthony Crolla. Maybe that against Loma. But I can't think of a fight apart from that where there's been nothing of me that thinks OTTO WALLIN has a chance. And that's not good. Right, there has to be a level of intrigue. Again, we watch fights kind of knowing the outcome, but there's that level of intrigue that keeps us interested. With Tyson Fury versus OTTO WALLIN, there's been nothing. Hence why most of the interviews that Tyson Fury is doing in the lead up to this fight, he's not even really mentioned OTTO WALLIN. We've heard Andy Ruiz, obviously this Mexican thing that's going on right now. We've heard we've heard Deontay Wilder. Is that fight going to happen February 22nd? We've heard about the phone calls to Anthony Joshua and Dillian White. We've heard everything apart from OTTO WALLIN. Because even Tyson Fury, who is the best salesman of all salesmen, can't sell this fight. And that's disappointing. The #1 heavyweight in the world is fighting someone that there is no intrigue, and thus there is very, very little interest. And again, with boxing, there's always that anything can happen. This isn't the case. Nothing can happen, right? This is going to be a Tyson Fury shutout. And Tyson Fury pretty much will get rid of OTTO WALLIN when he wants. And again, as much as I watch boxing knowing there's a big favourite, that kind of turns me off boxing a little bit. Because I want there to be an intrigue. There was with Yarde Kovalev. We were like, my God, what could happen here? I had butterflies in the stomach. With Loma versus Luke Campbell, again, Loma was a huge favourite, but I was a bit still like, if Luke lands one, OTTO WALLIN needs to land about 20. Tyson Fury can be put down. I mean, even he said this in the lead up to the fight. His chin isn't granite, right? It's something people don't discuss as much. But Tyson Fury is so much better, more experienced, well-rounded than OTTO WALLIN that I don't even think I'm going to stay up to watch this fight. I probably am just going to watch it when it airs later on in the day and just find out the result. And that's very rare for me to say. Normally, when one of the best, and he is one of the best fights, I like to stay up for it because it's always a good opportunity to see one of the best fight live. I'm not staying up for this one. Not at all. Peace!